Hey, and welcome to another episode of House of Wealth podcast. I am your host, Leah Steele. And on this brand new episode of the podcast today, I am going to be sharing a little life update, as well as some exciting news about a new podcast that I'm launching. And yeah, just some things that are happening in Leah land. And then Shane you can edit right here. I'm just going to go live on Facebook now. And on IG. I think we are live on Facebook. It looks that way. Let's see. There we go. All right. Okay. If you are here watching on the replay, give me a hashtag replay so I know you were here. We will say hello to Instagram world. And it is 2:22, right, as we are starting this live stream. Give it just a minute. Say hi as you're hopping on. Hey, Brittany. So I'm super excited. I haven't been live on Instagram or Facebook for a really, really long time. And I am here today because I want to share a journey that I'm starting today. And this is like massive accountability for me to be here sharing this vocally because I'm about to embark on a really wild next 3 years. So hi, everybody that's joining on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're here listening on the podcast, hello as well. I am going live and recording today to talk about the road to 50. So I will be 47 years old on December 1st. And I have had about a decade of some pretty significant health challenges that I've been dealing with. And this journey, Road to 50, is going to be about those challenges and, sharing some of the things that I've done up until this point to overcome them. But this particular journey, and it will have its own Instagram page. It has its own Facebook group already. This journey, the road to 50, is really about me over the next 3 years, really buckling down and making my health So I have been, I don't know, for those of you that are familiar with the Silva Ultramind system, my dear friend, Dr. Michelle Patrick, actually recommended that I do the Silva Ultramind program through Mind Valley. And I started doing it. I guess I'm in my second week of it now. And I started doing it. And there was something in the first week that Vishen said that really struck me. And he was talking about how most people they underestimate what they're able to accomplish in 3 years. Hey, Sig, thank you. So they underestimate what they're able to accomplish in 3 years. So, we set these 12-month goals, and we sometimes even set 5-year goals. But as far as what we actually have the ability to accomplish, we miss the mark a lot. And so Silva talked a lot about setting these 3-year goals. And as I was sitting there thinking, I was doing this first week of the Silva Ultramind system, and I was thinking about, what are the goals that where would I want to be in 3 years? The first thing that came to me was I saw this vision that I've been seeing of myself actually for several years, just really fit and feeling really vibrant and feeling really healthy. And I immediately kind of rolled my eyes at myself because I was like, oh yeah, that's what you've wanted forever, but you're dealing with all these health things. And it was really interesting because in that moment I was like, wait, no. How old am I going to be 3 years from now? Like, how old will I be? And I realized that 3 years from now I'll be 50. And I was like, and I allowed myself to dream a little bit I just got bit by something on my face. So if I get a big mark there while we're sitting there, I just felt something bite me. Which is another massive issue that I have is crazy histamine reactions. So you guys are going to get to hear all about this if you choose to come join me on this journey. But at 50, I was like, I let myself dream a little bit. And I thought, what if at 50, I was in the best shape of my life? What if at 50, I was my most healthy and my most vibrant? What if I actually set that goal for myself and allowed the highest version of myself to take me to that goal 3 years from now? And what if I used all of the same tools that I've used over the years to manifest money and to create, a multiple 7-figure business more than once? What if I used all of those tools and I really focused them on my health? Now, if you've been following me for a while, you may have heard me say this before, because over the last, I would say 4 years, I have known and recognized and realized that health really needed to be my priority. And I've really struggled to maintain any kind of discipline around it. Mostly because I go through these waves and these up and downs of feeling pretty good and then feeling really horrible. And, as I'll share on this journey, I'm dealing with thyroid disease. I vacillate between hypothyroidism and reverse T3 syndrome. And that's been incredibly, incredibly difficult over the last 9 years of not really even, knowing when those switches are taking place and trying to balance medication because the medications for the two things are so different. So that's just one of the many, many, many health things that I've been facing over the last, 10 years. I have tried basically every diet. I have seen Western doctors. I have seen Eastern doctors. I have seen shamans. I have done plant medicine. I have really done the gamut over the last 10 years. And so part of this journey and part of what I'm really wanting to share is all the things that I've done, the things that have significantly helped me, the things that haven't helped me. But I thought, maybe now's the time. And in true fashion to me, if you know me, I don't do anything well if I don't have a pretty public and massive accountability factor at play. And so I thought, okay, and this all just came about over the last few days. I thought, all right, you know what? Let's do this road to 50. let's set these goals for myself. Let me put all my magic and all my energy and all of my manifestation skills towards creating this version of me that I want to be on my 50th birthday, this version of me that's healthy, this version of me that's vibrant. And I've had some really amazing breakthroughs in the last 4 months since being in Portugal that I'm excited about sharing. But there's so much more that I can accomplish, and there's so much more that I know that I can do. And I don't think it's any mistake that, over the last, I'd say, year, my client base has actually shifted pretty significantly. I used to work primarily with women that were like, I say 30 to 45. And as of late, that has really shifted. And I would say the majority of my clients are 40 to 65 now. So they are women that are in this sort of like second phase of life, though I actually am a firm believer that all of us, if we commit to a healthy lifestyle, are going to be living way past 100 with the current technological advancements in anti-aging and cellular regeneration. But that's for another live stream or another podcast. And so, I think that having these women come into my life, a lot of them are dealing with similar health issues. A lot of them, have experienced things like I've experienced. I had a baby at 38 and I immediately went into massive health crisis after having that baby. I was vegan for 4 years. I wasn't supplementing properly. I was nursing for 3.5 years after my son was born, and I completely crashed my endocrine system. And as a result of that, the thyroid disease, and then from that, frozen shoulder. I mean, it's been thing upon thing upon thing. And I know I'm not the only one. And then I moved to Bali, and moving to Bali was really amazing and really healing for me in many ways. But I also, being from Salt Lake City, Utah, and growing up in a state that's 80% desert, I moved into an environment that was heavily mold toxic. And for the last several years of living in Bali was living in houses infested with mold, and left Bali with mold toxicity. And so I've been dealing with mold toxicity as well. And so there's just been so much. It has been thing upon thing upon thing upon thing. And I've been sharing a little bit about my mold journey recently, and I cannot tell you how many people have been reaching out to me about that and sharing their challenges that they've gone through with mold toxicity, and sharing, how frustrating and how hard their health challenges have been. So I'm super excited to be publicly saying that I'm fully committed to my health over the next 3 years. I'm excited about this road to 50. I'm launching a new podcast. I actually spoke with my podcast editor. I'm launching a new podcast network actually called 444 Media. And I spoke with my editor and my business partner in the network. And I said, hey, can we just do this as part of House of Wealth? Because obviously to me, House of Wealth means wealth in all areas of your life. And he was like, no, Leah, this fully deserves its own podcast. So we are launching a Road to 50 podcast. Like I said, I will be setting up a separate Instagram page, and there is a Facebook group already for it. And I'm just going to share my journey. So I'm going to be sharing, basically all the health conditions that I'm dealing with right now. I'm going to share with you the things that have worked. I'm going to share the things with you that haven't worked. And my goal around this is, one, first and foremost, to hold myself accountable, to keep bringing myself back to the place where I am focused and committed to achieving this level of health and vibrancy at 50. I've been doing a lot more research into manifesting 3-year goals. And I'm going to continue to do the Silva Ultra Mind. And I'm going to share about that as well as I move through that journey. It's been really powerful so far. But, I am such a firm believer in that we create our own reality, and that we are the most powerful creators in our reality. And so at some level, I know that the reality of my current health situation is that I haven't been willing to focus on it, that I haven't actually been willing to double down on health, and to really make the changes that I know that I need to make. And so, and some of these changes are like a really big deal, and it's hard to think about long-term commitment to some of these things. Like, I've been in Portugal for 4 months, and Portugal has the best wine in the world. But I made a commitment to myself last week that yesterday would be my last day of drinking for a significant amount of time, if not this whole 3 years. We'll see what happens. But I know that to fully reset my endocrine system, I have to stop drinking alcohol entirely. I also know that my diet has to change significantly. And this will probably shock some of you, but I am going to be transitioning onto a carnivore diet. And I share that also to just say, like, I've tried a lot of things, and there are some things that have really been calling to me. And I'm a big believer in synchronicities. There's a lot of signs that have been showing up to me lately about the directions that I'm meant to be going and what I'm meant to be doing. And, this movement, this page, this whatever it is that we're going to call it, this road to 50, I'm not sharing any of this with you saying, this is what you should be doing. I'm sharing it with you because I want the accountability, and I want a space where I can share the challenges. And my feeling is that there's a lot of other women out there in my audience, or men out there in my audience, that have been through similar health issues and that are ready to actually set some 3-year, are ready to do things differently. And that might look like a plant-based diet for somebody. That might look like, a paleo diet. That could look like a lot of different things. Hold on, I think we're paused due to poor connection. Let me just see if I can get connected to the Wi-Fi. It seems all of that's like going in out a bit. Am I live? See me? Can you see me? Can you see me? I think I'm back. Give me some hearts on Instagram if you can see me. I'm in Braga in Portugal, and I've struggled a little bit with internet up here. I had to go buy like a mobile internet box, but it sometimes goes in and out. So give me some hearts if you're here and if you can see me. So anyway, the point of this is to say that, I am going to be transitioning into a carnivore diet, and I don't know that I'm going to do that super long term, but I am going to transition into it and then do a full 8-week reset. I have been doing a ton of research on it, and again, I'm a big believer in signs and synchronicities, and then actually just following what's being presented to me. So that is going to be part of my journey. If you had told me even a month ago that I would have said that I would have considered a carnivore diet, I would have been like, you're completely insane. You're crazy. I love meat. Like, don't get me wrong. I was vegetarian for 4 years. I was vegan for 4 years. Like, I've literally done it all. I love meat, but to only be eating meat, I would have said you had lost the plot. But that's where I am right now. And I'm actually like really looking forward to the journey. And I know if I stay committed, and I know if I stay disciplined, and I know if I stay dedicated, that all of this is going to bring me to that place of where I desire to be when I hit 50. So road to 50 is just that. I think going to be a long, winding journey from now until I'm 50, which is going to be, I'm sorry that the internet's a little bit glitchy. The Wi-Fi is not the greatest. So yeah, it certainly will not be a straight and forward line to this destination. I know that. But I'm ready to commit. I'm ready to do it. And I've just been incredibly blessed to be surrounded by some really incredible healers and practitioners and to have them in my life. You know, I am incredibly blessed to call Dr. Michelle Patrick one of my best friends, who is just this incredible wealth of wisdom and knowledge around herbology and naturopathy and Chinese medicine and 5-element theory. And, you know, to have spent a significant amount of time here in Portugal with Nuno Nina in his clinic, and been able to have treatments, and, you know, been able to experience some of the magic of hydrogen. And that has been impacting me in ways that, you know, I don't even think that I'm fully aware of right now. And so I'm going to be sharing about that. And yeah, so I'm really excited about this. I am a little bit nervous because I know that I'm not going to be perfect. And I know that I'm going to have periods of, you know, like anything else, falling flat